Hi, K-pop lovers. Welcome back to our channel. Before anything else, if you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now, hit that like button, drop a comment telling me your favorite Ahyeon moment, and share this video because what you're about to see is the kind of thing the entire BABYMONSTER fandom has been completely losing their minds over. And trust me, you need to stay until the very end of this video, because the last part of this story is going to make everything hit so much harder than you expect. Now, let me ask you something very simple. Have you been paying attention to BABYMONSTER's CHOOM era? Because if you have, you already know that something is different. Something shifted. The energy between certain members, specifically between Chiquita and Ahyeon, has reached a level that nobody, not even the most dedicated Ahyeon fans, was fully prepared for. And right in the middle of it all, Chiquita did something during this era that sent the internet into absolute chaos. Fans were screaming. Clips were everywhere. And the conversation has not stopped since. So today, we are going to break down exactly what happened, why it matters so much, and why this moment proves that the bond between these two is something truly once in a generation. But first, let's talk about where BABYMONSTER is right now, because context is everything. On May 4, 2026, BABYMONSTER dropped their third mini-album, CHOOM. And this comeback arrived with a weight that fans felt deeply, because it came during a period when the group was promoting as 6 members, with Rami still on a health-related hiatus that began back in May 2025. YG Entertainment has been updating fans minimally, and during a fan sign in October 2025, Farida shared that Rami was still unwell but slowly getting better. So heading into the CHOOM era, there was already this undercurrent of emotion running through everything. The group was pushing forward, giving everything they had, and doing it while carrying the weight of a missing member. That context matters. Because what Chiquita did for Ahyeon during this era didn't happen in a vacuum. It happened in the middle of all of that. Now here's what you need to understand about CHOOM as an album before we get to the moment itself. The title track is an absolute powerhouse, built entirely around the concept of surrendering yourself to music and movement, with lyrics like, "Loosen up, watch me set the mood," and, "Let's chum, swallow the rhythm." It's bold, it's unapologetic, and it put every single member in a position where they had to show up completely. For the CHOOM promotions, Rora and Chiquita open the track together in the intro, setting the energy before the song fully explodes, and Ahyeon delivers vocal lines that showcase just how far she's come as a performer. These two were placed front and center in the CHOOM era in a way that made their chemistry impossible to ignore. And that's where the Studio CHOOM performance comes in, and this is where everything starts to build toward the moment that broke the internet. BABYMONSTER's CHOOM performance at Studio CHOOM became one of the most watched clips of the entire promotion cycle. Fans were glued to it. And in that performance, Chiquita and Ahyeon together, the unit that fans have been calling Ahyeon for years, delivered a synchronization so precise, so locked in, so utterly magnetic, that people couldn't stop watching. The way they moved together, the way they fed off each other's energy, the way Chiquita matched Ahyeon beat for beat, fans kept going back to the same few seconds over and over again, pausing it, replaying it, posting it everywhere. Comments flooded in saying things like, "The synchronization is rap ing," and "Standard is officially raised," and "I don't think I'll recover from this." And honestly, they were right. But here's the thing about that performance, and this is the part that sent the internet into overdrive. It wasn't just the dancing that got people. It was what Chiquita did in that performance specifically for Ahyeon. Chiquita, the youngest member of BABYMONSTER, born February 17, 2009, the group's magne who debuted at just 15 years old and has grown into one of the most technically gifted performers of her generation. In the middle of that Studio CHOOM performance, Chiquita turned toward Ahyeon in a moment that was completely unscripted, completely natural, and completely devastating in the best possible way. She hyped her out loud. Right there, mid-performance, with thousands of fans watching. The kind of hype that doesn't come from a script or a rehearsal, the kind that only comes from someone who genuinely, deeply believes in the person standing next to them. And the look on Ahyeon's face when it happened said everything. You could see it. That split second where Ahyeon registered what Chiquita just did, and the way her entire energy shifted, fans watching in real time described it as watching someone get reminded exactly why they love what they do. Now if you know Ahyeon's history at all, you understand why this moment hit as hard as it did. This is a girl who went through one of the most emotionally difficult pre-debut experiences in recent K-pop history. She was supposed to debut with BABYMONSTER in November 2023, but was pulled from the lineup due to health reasons just days before the release of Batter Up. For months, fans didn't know if she was coming back. When she finally returned and the full 7-member group debuted on April 1, 2024 with BABYMONSTER Ahyeon, the relief and the emotion that fans felt was overwhelming. But the challenges didn't stop there. Throughout her career, Ahyeon has faced waves of criticism, for her dancing being too big, for her stage presence being too intense, for simply being too much. And each time, you could see the effect it had on her. Airport photos from late 2025 showed her quieter, more withdrawn, headphones on, not smiling the way she used to. Fans were heartbroken watching it. So when Chiquita stood next to her in that CHOOM era performance and chose to hype her, loudly, publicly, without hesitation, it wasn't just a cute moment between groupmates. It was a statement. It was Chiquita saying, without words, that she sees Ahyeon. That she's proud of her. That none of the noise from the outside changes a single thing about what she thinks of her uni. And the internet absolutely could not handle it. Clips of the moment racked up millions of views across TikTok and X within hours. Fan accounts were posting it with captions like, Chiquita protecting Ahyeon's energy forever, and, this is why Chian is everything, and, I will never stop talking about this. Even people who weren't already Chian shippers found themselves completely undone by it. And here's what makes it even more layered when you think about it. This isn't new behavior from Chiquita. If you go back through BABYMONSTER's history, there's a long, consistent pattern of Chiquita showing up for Ahyeon in exactly this way. From the very beginning of the group, Chiquita's family and supporters were among the most vocal voices calling for Ahyeon's return during her hiatus. When Chiquita broke down crying at the Thailand fan meeting in Bangkok in June 2024 during their performance of Dream, that song about 7 trainees finding their way to debut, it was Ahyeon who immediately rushed to hold her, no hesitation, no pause. And now, in the CHOOM era in 2026, with BABYMONSTER bigger than ever, about to embark on a world tour that spans 5 continents and features their first ever dome concerts with a 2-night residency at Kyocera Dome Osaka in September, now it was Chiquita's turn to hold Ahyeon back up. And she did it exactly the way Ahyeon once did it for her. By showing up completely, in the middle of everything, without being asked. That's what Chian is. It's not a ship created by fans for entertainment, though fans obviously love them deeply. It's a real, documented, two-way exchange of care between two people who have been through an incredible amount together, and who choose, again and again, to show up for each other when it matters most. And in the CHOOM era, with the group stepping into the biggest chapter of their career, with a world tour about to begin, with everything on the line, Chiquita looked at Ahyeon and made absolutely sure she knew she wasn't doing any of it alone. The internet exploded because people recognized something true when they saw it. Not manufactured, not performed, not edited for content. Just real. And in an industry that is built on image and presentation, moments of genuine human connection are rarer and more precious than almost anything else. This was one of those moments. And MONSTIEZ everywhere felt it all at once. If this video moved you even a little, and I genuinely believe it did, please hit that like button right now, subscribe if you haven't already so you never miss moments like this one, leave a comment below telling me when you first fell in love with Chian, and share this video with every MONSTIEZ you know. Thank you so much for watching all the way through, see you in the next one. Ahyeon.